Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Soukaina and I am an engineer living in Paris. Usually when a person accomplishes a goal, he or she will attribute their success to a lot of willpower. Willpower is the ability we have to do things we don't want to do. And people think that the more you have of it, the more successful you'll be. But in reality, having enough self-discipline and willpower to get things done every day is not easy. Plus, many successful people don't seem to have more willpower than the rest of us. So how can you achieve your goals without having to depend so much on willpower? The good news is there is an easy way. You can still get things done without having to feel so miserable. And that's what Benjamin Hardy explained in his book, Willpower Doesn't Work. So if we're not relying on willpower, what can we do instead? In this video, I'll explain how you can change your life in a more efficient way without relying so much on self-discipline. Just by making some changes to your environment, you can increase your productivity and achieve your goals. Before getting to it, if you like this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let's get started. In our attempt to improve ourselves, we often focus too much to change internally, like how can I be smarter, how can I be calmer, how can I have more self-discipline or more grit, etc. However, focusing only on these things is not the easiest nor the quickest way to achieve change. Just imagine two fish, one big strong fish swimming upstream and a small one swimming downstream. Eventually, the small one will be able to go further and with less effort than the big one. And that's exactly what the book is trying to explain. An average person in an efficient environment will get great results. So let me define first what I mean by environment, since this word will be used a lot in this video. Your environment is everything surrounding you. It includes things, people, ideas, and thoughts. In other words, it's everything in your life that is not you. David Neal, psychologist from Duke University, said, people, when they perform a behavior a lot, outsource the control of the behavior to the environment. Which reminds me of a study that just blew my mind when I first read about it. During the Vietnam War, many soldiers, around 20%, got addicted to heroin, which was very worrying for the army that made the decision to set up a rehab system in Vietnam. Those who were addicted were kept in Vietnam until they dried out. And when these soldiers returned to the US, they've been tracked by doctors to prevent a relapse. And that's when doctors made a very curious and shocking conclusion. The percentage of soldiers who returned to heroin consumption in the first year was about 5%, which is shockingly low considering the statistic they had for heroin addiction in the US. Before this study, the numbers said that 95% of heroin addicts relapse after finishing rehab and returning home. Many scientists were just shocked by the result of this study. Today, it is widely accepted and opened the door for many other studies in the science of behavior change. This story proves that change is not always related to willpower. If we can intentionally design our environment to achieve a specific goal, then making it happen and improving ourselves will almost be inevitable. In biology, this is known as domestic evolution, which means controlling the environment of an organism so it evolves as you want it to. But in reality, most of us let ourselves fall for natural evolution, suffering in a world designed to make us fat, depressed, and in debt. However, when we intentionally design our environment, we control the outcome, and change happens in the direction that we choose. Before starting to make changes to your environment, there are 3 rules that you should respect. First, define a specific goal. You have to make changes to your environment depending on the goal you want to achieve. Someone who wants to lose weight will change their environment differently from someone who wants to gain weight. Second, take the responsibility but not the guilt. There are many aspects of our environment that are out of our control, so don't feel guilty about this. Just feel responsible for the things you can change and act on these only. And third, don't underestimate small changes. I think we all know the story of the British cycling team who went from winning 1 gold medal in 76 years history to winning 7 out of 10 gold medals in the 2008 Beijing Olympics. And they achieved this just by making small changes to every aspect of their training, such as properly washing their hands to avoid illness, changing their mattresses and pillows to have better sleep, or making small improvements to aerodynamics. If you're interested to know more about this, I'll put a link to an article in the description box. Another way to intentionally design your environment is to allocate specific separate places for work and play. We live in a world full with distractions and temptation that are hard to resist even for the ones with the greater willpower. Working on increasing your willpower is hard and might take a long time. And even if you succeed, it's not smart and wise to use this willpower to resist a negative environment that can be changed. In 2020, like most people, I suddenly found myself permanently working from home. I didn't have an office and I didn't think of buying one because I thought that this was temporary. So I just set my dining table as my desk. After 1 or 2 months, I found myself struggling to be productive and working longer hours to compensate. Plus, despite all the free time I had, I didn't do any extra fun activities outside of work except maybe cooking and eating. After several months of this, it was finally clear to me that remote work is going to be the new normal. So I bought myself a desk, a chair, and a big screen and set up a separate space as my office. And this made all the difference. Work was now completely separate from the rest of my life, and when I leave my office, work is left behind. And when I am at work, there is nothing to distract me from my duties. Being in your office gives you the right amount of pressure and stress to avoid distraction and laziness. I also recommend keeping your phone outside of your office to keep this space exclusively for work. This is also helpful for your brain to associate different places for different activities. So when you are in your office, you optimize your brain's ability to work hard and concentrate. A quick note, I understand that not everyone might have the space to do this, but if you do, this is something I highly recommend. Rather than counting on your willpower to make the best choice for you, deliberately make the default situation the best one for you. If you want to read a few pages of a book before you sleep rather than watching TV, then just remove your TV from your bedroom and put a book on your nightstand. Try to get rid of all the things that make it hard for you to achieve your goal. Even the small things can make a difference. Simplifying and minimizing your environment will save you so much willpower that you can use on important tasks. For instance, the great French novelist and poet Victor Hugo writes so many books and in many genres. A successful person like Victor Hugo, your idea of him might be that he is a passionate man who always enjoys writing all the time. But in reality, Victor Hugo struggled a lot with procrastination. When he signed with his publisher to write his novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he spent 12 months procrastinating and spending his time at parties and other projects. So his publisher gave him a 6-month deadline to finish the book. To beat his procrastination, Victor Hugo asked his help to collect all his clothes and lock them away, so he doesn't have any suitable clothes to go outside. And since he cared a lot about his image, Victor Hugo was no longer tempted to go outside, and writing was his only option. So try to design your environment in a way that reduces the friction to start and keep going. And don't worry about the results until you master the art of showing up and doing some work daily. Even a 10 minutes daily commitment can do wonders. So to sum up, making some changes to your environment to achieve a specific goal will help you succeed easier without relying too much on willpower or self-discipline. That's all for me, guys. I hope you find this video helpful. Please share your experience with us in the comments below. I'd love to learn from you what changes you made to your environment that helped you reach your goal. As always, if you made it so far, thank you so much for watching. Question everything, do your own research, and follow your instincts. I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye!